So I'm getting married twice, and no, it's not what you think. Though when I tell you nothing has gone as planned, a venue canceled, dresses and tailors fell through, planners have been fired, I've dealt with logistics and emotions more than I ever imagined, all while working full time and being a friend and sister. Welcome to my series.
So hey guys, and welcome back to the Bridezillas podcast. I'm your host, Authentic Aisha, and you already know what it is. If you're planning your big day, if you're helping somebody else plan their big day, this is the podcast you need. So guys, today is a bit of a different episode. First things first, we have the lovely home setup. So I know I told you guys already, we have home from home, we have the actual home studio in London, but we have our international, when we can't really reach our brides, but we still want to hear from them. We have our first virtual guest, maybe second virtual guest of the year, in the Brides Room podcast, and it's the one and only Gogo. Me personally, I've been following you for a while now on TikTok. Recently we connected, didn't we?
Yes, recently we connected. I've been the one who has been following you for a while, even before I was like a soon-to-be bride.
That's crazy.
Yes, your stories were so funny because it would be on TikTok. And so on TikTok, of course, like you see like the snippets, you don't see the real thing, but the snippets would always just get me. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, if it comes to my wedding planning, like I would avoid this, I would do this. And you try to think that some things are unavoidable, but they're not. But anyways, I say that to say that I've been following you for a while.
Oh, thank you so much for the support and the love. And I'm now following you, and I've been loving your wedding journey, and I've just been so consumed by it. And I just thought it would be nice to connect with you. I know you are currently a soon-to-be bride, which is actually a bit different, because usually we have brides like that have finished the process and they're reflecting. But I think it's also nice to have people in the studio that are actively embarking on that journey and just enjoying all the waves that come with wedding planning, because I'm sure, as you know, and you're currently living and breathing it, it's such a beautiful process, but also really test you at times. So I think it would be really, really lovely. And also as well, I'm not really too familiar of like what it's like to be young Black African, a bride in America as well. So I'm just really keen to hear from you. But before we jump into that, maybe do you want to just introduce yourself to the guests, just so they know who you are, who we're dealing with? Yeah, just give us the intro.
Okay, so I'm Gogo. My full name is Ngosu. I'm Cameroonian. I am 28. I just turned 28 2 weeks ago, January 22nd. So it feels so weird to say I'm 28. So I still feel like I'm 25, but hey. I'm based in Dallas, and I feel like me and you actually connected because I'm doing a series on TikTok called, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on my name? This is so embarrassing, but it's Becoming a Mrs. Twice. And so I've been posting my journey about my wedding planning, which I was hesitant about because, like you mentioned, a lot of brides usually talk about the experience after like they've gone through everything. And I was planning on doing that too, but knowing who I am, where I like providing people like the blueprint so that they don't have to go through what I went through, I decided to just push forward with the series on TikTok. And it's been fun and sometimes challenging because I'm like, oh, I feel like if I say this, like I'll expose some people, but it's a learning process nonetheless, because sometimes you do have to like tell your story and be truthful, and sometimes some people may get hurt, but of course I want to be respectful too. So I think all in all, that's who I am. Oh, no. It's okay.
No, it's so lovely. I think I completely resonate with you when you said it's kind of there's some people have different type of personalities, right? So some people will hold that content and they will post it in a well organized way. For
Mm-hmm.
example, Teni Ajibade,
Mm-hmm.
she was a great example of someone that lived in the moment and then posted content in a beautiful way after the wedding. But then there's some of us which I feel I definitely connect with you because I didn't post when I was actively planning. I just couldn't be bothered to do it after the wedding. And I think if you know yourself, it's good to just go ahead and do it. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, and I think it's such a lovely thing to also see you sharing your experience because I'm a big believer in that, right? Hence why I
Mm-hmm.
created a podcast and this space because I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that people should be able to share their journey, share their experience, and not that you're hurting anyone. I don't think you're hurting anyone, but I think
Right.
it's your experience, right? This is your
Exactly.
story. So, and I've just been laughing at so many of the videos, especially like, which we'll get into later, but like when I think you got your birthday dress and you got a dress, I believe it was for the trial. There was the white one that had
Mm-hmm.
like the ruched,
Don't even get me started on that. Like vendors have been my number one pain point, specifically tailors. Like
oh my God.
tailors will make you a different type of crazy. And I'm still going through it right now, even for my wedding dresses, because they would just play in your face. Like, for example, I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but
No, it's fine.
since we're talking about it, like, because I'm based in the States, right? Um, it's apparent that vendors like who are in Nigeria, for example, or some people may not know this, but I'm working with tailors in Nigeria, and of course, reaching out from an American number, they're going to try to upcharge you.
Yeah.
And so I have my workaround where I have my wedding planner's assistant who's based in Nigeria and reaching out to vendors. And so today I was just so upset because, well, this was yesterday, but it still translated onto today. My feelings was because this tailor, she told my wedding planner's assistant who's based in Nigeria one price, but as soon as she added me into the group, she saw my
Mm,
number. She was like, "Oh, my, this not the design has to cost more now is 1.3 mil," and I'm like, "This is not the price that you told my wedding assistant."
no.
Yes, and so she was just making up excuses about why it's more, and it was just annoying because she walked through everything. My wedding planner assistant walked through everything. This is what's needed. We have this material, everything. But all of a sudden, I'm added into the group, and now I'm getting charged double.
Oh,
So
God. No, I
yeah,
thought you, and it's so interesting. Okay, so yeah, we kind of have jumped, but I'm sure we can make it make sense. But whilst
yeah,
we
yeah,
are
yeah.
quick, I
Uh
just kind of
huh.
wanted to know what made you, what's the tailor scene like as a bride in the States? Is it that do you guys have lots of options? Do you have people that are really good at what they do? What is that whole experience like? Because I'm wondering what pushed you to use tailors back in Nigeria, or does this particular one is in Nigeria, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So what pushed you to use tailors in Africa versus tailors in the States?
Well, first of all, the tailors in Nigeria, they're bomb. Like their work, they
I'm gonna
don't miss.
lie.
Everything is chef's kiss. And I would want to be in one of their clothes. And then two, they're also more affordable. So here in the States, I feel as though they upcharge you because, you know, they understand that labor is labor. Not that they don't in Nigeria, but we have a high cost of living here.
Mm,
And so they upcharge for that. They upcharge for their time, materials, and everything. And you're just better off outsourcing it in Nigeria or Ghana or wherever it may be. And so the difficulties that come with that is, of course, like sometimes you might not be able to go there for in-person fittings, even though you give your measurements to the T. So going back to that white dress that you mentioned, like that white dress was like completely messed up, but they said, oh, like they didn't have my measurements, or not the white dress, the blue dress. He said, oh, they didn't have my.
I wasn't too sure if we were recording. Sorry, we are
Oh, okay.
recording. I was like, I need to make sure. Okay, sorry. Yeah, go on.
No, no worries. So the difference is like with that blue dress that I wore, she said that like my measurements were clearly off. And it really just depends on the tailor, because I gave another tailor my measurements and she made a dress for me completely seamless. And so I feel like if I was there in Nigeria getting my clothes fitted, I may not have ran into these issues as opposed to doing it from the States. And of course, when you do it from the States, you also have to pay like for shipping. Like if I need my dress like in a week, I'm gonna have to pay like express shipping. Express shipping isn't like $20 or $40 as it normally would be. It's about like 200 to
Within the
plus.
States?
Oh, no, from Nigeria to
Oh, okay, okay,
the
okay. I'm
States if you
sorry.
need
Okay.
express. Yeah, because the dress is heavy and you need it in a certain time. So those are the cons working with Nigerian tailors or just African tailors in general. In the States, it's just way too expensive, and I just haven't seen the craftsmanship yet here.
And
Hmm.
yeah, and I guess that's why I asked the question because I haven't really heard much about designers in the States too much
Hmm.
either.
Hmm.
But to be fair, it could just be my ignorance and just like lack of knowledge, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, that makes complete sense. I guess maybe to kind of put the conversation kind of back on track, let's
Hmm.
go back to the beginning. So,
Yeah.
when did you get engaged? Let's talk about the fluffy stuff. When did you get
Uh-huh.
engaged? A little birdie told me that your fiance is Nigerian, and you are.
Yes, he is.
You know, it's so funny. I thought that you were Nigerian because of your name. Because when I saw it looks like Ngozi a little bit, but it's not really Ngozi. Or maybe that was
Yes,
just.
everybody says that. Everybody's like,
I just
oh,
assumed off the bat Nigerian. I thought you were Igbo. So I was like, oh, okay,
yes.
cool.
So many people assume I'm Igbo all the time, and I always have to explain to Nigerians that I'm Cameroonian. I just have the same NGO.
That is so interesting. And even just the name, I just assumed straight Igbo. But
Yeah.
tell me about the relationship and,
Hmm.
what was the proposal story? How long has
Hmm.
it been? How long have you had to plan the wedding as well?
Hmm.
And how far along on the wedding planning journey are you now?
Okay. So we met on Hinge, and yeah, I know people are like 50-50 with it, but funny backstory. The reason why I got on Hinge was because two people close to me, they mentioned my sister and my brother-in-law, they met on Bumble, and they were like, hey, you need to go out and meet people and just date. It's the same thing as meeting somebody in person. So I was like, okay, whatever, cool. I did that. And similar to him, his friend told him to get on Hinge like around the same time. So we met, we dated. Of course, it was great. Like, and fast forward to the engagement, it was in Costa Rica.
Mhm.
And I didn't expect that I was going to get engaged because our anniversary is in November. So, and he was like, oh, like, let's just take a trip. I'm kind of stressed with work. And I know our anniversary is like next month, but let's just, do something just because instead of planning around a holiday. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, who would want to go on a trip?
I'm not complaining, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's so funny because that day, like, I packed because I was like, maybe, like, what if he is going to propose? Like, I don't know. But then, like, my wig was sliding back the day of because it was so hot and humid.
Wait, wait, that was not what I was expecting. Wait, okay, so your wig was sliding back because what?
It was so humid. Like I was trying to do my hair. So it was like I was in the bathroom. I was rushing because we had dinner, lunch on the beach because where we were in Costa Rica, all the restaurants there by the beach side. So he was like, oh, like let's just go to the beach, have lunch, and then after we can take pictures. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I was trying to get ready. My wig was sliding back because of the humidity. Then my skirt ripped on the side. Girl, it was big. It was so big.
But did you know that? Did you have a feeling that he was going to propose to you whilst all of this was happening, or it was just a complete wardrobe malfunction, and it just happened to be have like? Did you have any suspicion? Oh, English, come back. Did you have any suspicion that this was about to happen?
Not really. Like I had an inkling because like I saw him like, listening like to voice notes, and he doesn't really like voice notes, like calls. So I was like, okay, what's going on? But then we're in Costa Rica too, and like we have a driver. So I was like, okay, like that could be it. But I'm like, he's being extra patient with me, like just being, okay, babe, do you need anything? What can I get you? And like he is like that, but usually like when we have like a lunch date at like 12 o'clock, he's like, babe, it's 12 o'clock, like come on, speed it up. So I was like, but anyways, like, I was just panicking. He was like, it's fine. Like he was like, it honestly looks like it's the style of the skirt, because it did look like the style, but I noticed it. And so we get out the car, and like now we're walking on the beach, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. I have heels on. What the hell? And then I hope I can swear on here. Sorry if I
Yeah, yeah,
can't.
sure.
Oh, okay. And so I'm just worried. Like I'm in heels walking in sand. I'm trying to like make sure my skirt doesn't rip more. And then like I look up, and I see roses on the sand, a table, bottle of champagne, and photographer. And there's some people on the beach like on the side. So I'm like, what are you doing? This isn't the time to be like videographing me. And then he like grabs my hand. I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. Yes. And so I feel like I just blanked out when he was talking. I just remember he like opened the box, and it was my dream ring. And the reason why I didn't think that I was getting proposed to either was because he said we were supposed to go ring shopping like around August. But then he was like, no, I don't. He was like, I actually don't want you to be a part of the process. So I just thought he was just playing me. He didn't like, want to take this relationship seriously. So in my head, I was like, yeah, let me just see how he moves, because I'm going to like cut him off soon. And so it turns out that he just wanted to do it on his own, and that was it. So
Look at God. It's so lovely. Oh my God, I'm so
mhm,
like my face, I'm just smiling ear to ear. I love a cute love story. Um,
yeah.
that is so beautiful. So, how
Mhm.
long ago was that again? Sorry.
It was
How?
October 2024. So
Okay.
essentially, we're doing like almost a 2-year engagement, because,
Nice.
yeah, because my trad wedding is in July, and then my white wedding is in September of this year.
Okay, trad wedding in July, white wedding in September. So
Correct.
let's get into the details of the wedding. Actually, no, let's talk about your wedding series. So obviously we spoke about the dresses, which I found so hilarious, and I'm going to try and put a picture into the clips of the videos that I was watching, because I was laughing. I was like, this is very much giving what I asked for versus what I got. And what you
Hmm.
got was interesting. The blue one, I was kind of like, okay, we can kind of work with it. But then when you turned around, I was like, oh, the corset's not even corsetting like that. Like they really, as
Yeah.
you guys would say, they really tried to play in your face. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay, interesting.
Hmm.
And the one that got me was the venue cancellation. So I found that one quite interesting. I think let's dig into that a little bit more, because obviously you spoke about it for 3 minutes on TikTok, but
Uh-huh.
I would like to know, and I'm sure the viewers would love to know, how did you get to the stage where your venue cancelled on you? I believe it was a month before your wedding.
No, so it was about 7 or 6 months before.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so they canceled on me, and it was disappointing, but I'm not surprised for several reasons. One, um, there's been stories about people that I know that have had like their weddings there. The venue gave them a difficult time. Even my decorator, when I told her about the news, she was like, I'm so sorry that happened, but thank God, because you were the last bride that I was going to take at that venue, because they're so difficult to work with.
No way, like
Yeah.
that.
And so prior to like, they called me and they said, hey, like, because of all these past events, we're going to change the guest count from 300 to 275. And which in turn, like some people may say, okay, it's not a big deal, which I told them, like, we signed a contract. You told me it was 300 people. I understand changes, but that shouldn't apply to my contract because we signed it. And if you change things now, that means that in the future you can change other things. And I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with that on my day. Like, I don't want to get spoon fed different updates. And they were like, okay, I completely understand. And we'll try to get back to you to see what we can do. They called me again. They were like, hey, we can't do anything. And I was like, okay, but I signed a contract. So am I going to like get my money back, or like what is a workaround here? Because I was so excited. I don't live in the area because I'm doing it at my hometown. And I was like, something needs to come about. And so they were like, yeah, no, we understand. The manager said he's going to speak to you just so you guys can like work something out and he can explain why these changes are happening. And there was silence for about 2 weeks. And then they just emailed me saying that the venue canceled, just like that. Yeah, they said
Because you
all
challenged
2026
them.
events are canceled. They were like, we're sending you your money back. And it was so like crazy because they couldn't even spell my name right. They didn't even call me to say that they canceled. They just sent an email and that was it. They just washed their hands.
And do you suspect that they did that because you challenged them on the terms, the way they were handling the contracts, or did you manage to speak to other brides that had confirmed that actually, yeah, my booking has been cancelled for the year 2026?
I don't think it was because I challenged them, because other people have been in the same position. Like, for example, somebody else has been in a place where they tried to change the price on them and they said, no, you can't change the price on me because we signed a contract, and nothing happened to them. And then in the contract, for me, it said all 2026 events were canceled.
That's interesting. Okay, I mean, fair enough. It's very unfortunate, firstly, but very
Hmm.
annoying as well as a bride
Yeah.
to go through that. And I heard you say that you actually booked with the venue a year in advance for your
Yes.
event.
Hmm.
So, which part of
Yeah.
the wedding was this? Your introduction? This was your
This was
introduction.
my trad ceremony. Yeah. So
Right.
not introduction. For Cameroonians, we do like a knock doors, and Nigerians they call it introduction. Or
Yes.
yeah, so we did a knock door. No, the knock door was at my house, but the trad ceremony, which is like the bigger
Yeah.
ceremony, and that was where it's being held at a hall.
But sorry, this is sorry, and maybe I'm taking in the information.
Hmm.
But you said you're having a trad in July and then a white wedding in, or you say you had
September.
it last July.
No, 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 no. My trad wedding is this July.
Makes sense. Yeah, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. It makes sense. Yeah, no,
Hmm.
that is crazy that they did that. Firstly,
Hmm.
and then you said that you had to find another venue. Have you managed to find one now?
Yes, I have. And it's not my top choice, but I'm happy that it's manageable in the sense where I could work with it. Not too much decor is needed in that sense, like where it's completely horrible and it
Mm,
needs decor to save it, but it still gets the job done. And I know I'd have a successful event there. It's just
yeah.
not what I initially wanted.
Yeah, no, I completely. I mean, I guess anybody would, when you have your heart set on something, naturally you're going to
Uh-huh.
just want to stick to the vision that you had in your head. But
Right.
I'm praying and hoping that, the day comes out even more beautifully than you even planned.
Thank
Um,
you.
so yeah, okay, cool. So that's been the wedding series, the key.
I actually posted a video today about how people can show up for their friends during
Mm.
this moment. Um,
So why did you make that video, if you don't mind me asking?
I made that video because I feel like a lot of people can do better. From my own experience, where I feel like going into this wedding planning journey, I expected, okay, decisions, logistics. What I didn't expect though was that how many people would feel emotionally invested into choices that weren't theirs. Like, people who feel like they should be involved in like the wedding planning, how things should be done. Um, just traditions, especially. Like, I think traditions was expected, but
Yeah.
I feel like when people give opinions like, oh, this is tradition, when it's like, is it really, or you're just slapping it on?
Yeah.
And so I feel like I had to really learn quickly that if I explain like every decision that I made, or like I tried to make people feel comfortable, like I would never move forward. And like some people, like as soon as I got engaged, people were like, oh, send me an invite, send me Ashra B, send me this, send me this. And it's like, I haven't heard from you, like from the wedding planning
Mm,
process. Or like people will ask, let me know how I can help, which I'm sure it's coming from a good place, but I feel like it needs like extend that help, like truly say, okay, I'm good at this. Do you want me to check RSVPs? Do you want me to coordinate a dance routine? Do you want me to design a menu? Something that's actually tangible instead of passive, where it's like, okay, let me know how I can help. Because I'm like, I don't want to go through a laundry list of things that I need. And again, like I know they mean well, but I like actionable help, not passive.
I completely see you. It's kind of like just do something, just take something, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Take it and just take it off my plate.
Yeah.
Completely get you. What's the one thing that wedding planning has stopped? What's the one thing about wedding planning nobody warned you about?
Mm. I would still say the managing like other people's emotions, not to be repetitive, but I just really feel as though like people wanted to like have a say in who should be in my bridal party or not. And I just feel like things like that should be left up to me. And people would be so confrontational or loud with like some of the questions that they would ask or suggestions that come with expectations. And for me, I treat wedding planning like this is just another event. This isn't a communal event that everybody has to participate in. It's me and my husband's event. You guys just show up. And I mean that very respectfully, extremely respectfully, but so many people like would want to be involved, and it's not really helpful. Like some people say, oh yeah, involve me. It comes to
Yeah,
involve them,
yes.
they're
And
nowhere to be found.
exactly. And even if you do involve them, sometimes too many cooks spoil the food. Sometimes you just need just you
Mm-hmm.
and your husband to make a decision, everybody get in line. But what is so
Uh-huh.
interesting, and I guess it took me a while as well to like realize it as well, is that with the traditional aspect in particular, it is very much a community thing. I think sometimes, are you the firstborn by any chance?
No, I'm the baby.
Are you first getting married, or your siblings are
No,
already married?
I'm the third getting
Ah,
married.
okay,
Yeah.
then so your parents have been here, done that then. So to
Mm-hmm.
be fair, they know what they're doing. Because sometimes it's like with me, with what I found when it was me, I felt like I'm the first child. So everyone was, like you said, making up these rules and just being like, oh, this is a culture. This is what we need to do. You're the bride. Everybody needs to get in line. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just want to have a nice day, wear my gele and call it a day, you know? But people just don't see it that way. Um, but it's quite interesting that you I guess it's kind of like a journey as well in terms of just developing as a person and just going through the motions of, I guess, setting those boundaries or reconfirming the boundaries that you already had in place and kind of showing the rest of the family, this is me and my husband to be, and this is how we operate, I guess. um
So funny enough, though, I'm the first to do a traditional wedding out of my two
Ah,
siblings.
so there we
So
go. Because I'm saying it's given first. There's something about being the
yeah,
first one to do a big traditional wedding. Everyone's excited and they come up with all these rules, and it's like, can you guys just chill? That makes sense.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. And then so I'm the first to do a trad wedding, and then I'm the first to also do a destination wedding for my white wedding. So it's just a lot of
oh God.
complications, logistics. It's a lot. Like I have thought about canceling my wedding so many times. Like even when the venue canceled, I was like, oh, this is a sign from God. I could
Let's
just
just
tell.
wrap it up. Wrap it
Yeah.
up.
I was like, I can tell
No.
people, oh, the venue canceled, the wedding's off. Like,
You know,
you know,
Africans, you know, they're not going to hear that. They'll be like, don't worry, we'll put money together. We'll put
no.
money together to
Yes. So I just, because when I told my mom, I told my mom like in the morning, like when it happened, by like 6 p.m., my mom had 10 different venues lined up. She was like, go
Because
to
don't
this venue,
worry,
this venue.
Auntie so and so, this is that we can use here. I know a
Hmm.
person, my colleague, they will find a way. It's such an
Yeah.
exciting thing. Can I just
Hmm.
ask, because you said that you're the first one out of your siblings to do a traditional wedding. Why did you opt for a traditional wedding if it's something that I guess probably wasn't really expected from your parents?
Hmm. I've always wanted a traditional wedding. Like I've followed the well, not even I follow, like, forget social media. I used to be that kid, like, on YouTube watching all, like, the traditional weddings.
That
I'm
was
like,
me.
okay, yeah, writing it down. I want this. Yeah. So I've always loved it. I've loved weddings. I just love love. And I wanted to find the best ways, all the ways to celebrate love. And eventually it just led to me being on social media, following a lot of Tailors, following like Bella and Nigerian weddings and other platforms. And now I, marrying a Nigerian, and I feel like for my siblings too. They didn't marry Africans; they married like Caribbeans as well. So they opted in for just having like one wedding and doing like an introduction. So
Oh, that is so
mhm.
interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah,
So let's talk about the white wedding actually, because you said that you're
hmm,
also having a destination wedding as well.
yes, uh-huh.
So what is the destination?
So this is my first time revealing the destination,
Oh yeah,
but
sorry, because you're actively planning, isn't it? Okay, so we'll cut this out, but can I know?
yes, you can.
Oh
Yes.
no,
And I
that's
think
so
you did.
cute. Oh.
I know. And yes, it's at that venue.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure you.
funny.
Yeah, sorry, go
This
on.
was like my last resort because I wanted to get married. We initially wanted to get married in Spain, but Spain was above our budget. We said, mm-mm, we got
Really,
to go
Spain is
somewhere else.
pricey.
Yes, where we wanted to. And so we wanted to get married in Malaga, Spain.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes. And so it's pricey. And we just stumbled upon this venue. And part of the reason why I was like hesitant about it was because I've seen a lot of people do it. And like we booked this venue um was it late 2024, like as soon as like we got engaged, we booked it. And so of course if you're booking almost 2 years out, there's going to be so many people that do it, but
Mm.
we're going to make the best of it.
It is what it is.
None of our friends have experienced this, so it's going to be new to them.
You're going to have a blast. I went there as a guest, I told you, and I
Uh-huh.
loved it. Absolutely
Yeah.
loved it. I thought it was just the service is just so beautiful. The food, 10 out of 10. The vibes with the right people, great day. So, not to hype it up too much, but just to let you know, you're in for a treat, okay? You're in
Yeah.
for a treat. Okay, cool. And so being a destination, how have you found that then? So how are you sourcing your vendors from the States? Are you, because what I've noticed with some American brides, especially when they get married in Europe, they tend to use UK, for what I've seen anyway, I've seen a lot of UK vendors being used in your, is that the method you're using as well?
Yes, and that's because I haven't found any in Portugal.
Yeah.
And I should have done it like not backwards, but I should have looked at other countries outside of the UK. But a lot of my vendors are from the UK. Makeup, hair,
You're not going to find any
this
better,
yeah,
sadly.
the celebrant, even the MC. A lot of our vendors are from the UK, and the way that they just do work is spectacular. The hair, the makeup, everything is chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. As someone that lives in a different part, I'm originally from the UK, but I now live in Switzerland, and I can confirm it has been such a struggle to find, beauty service providers. No, no shade to the Swiss people if you are watching this, but it has been a
Uh-huh.
struggle to find people that provide services the same level as the UK girlies. And
Uh-huh.
it's so funny because even like with Americans, they're always like UK makeup, UK black girl makeup, like it's a thing, and that's the one thing I think. even though we have our own struggles when it comes to UK service providers, but when we're talking
Right.
about talent, it eats down every single time. Every
Mm-hmm.
single time. So that makes complete sense. Did you have a list of people that you always knew, actually, I want these people, or was it, you said you did your research after you booked your venue? So you didn't really know about your vendors that you currently have until after you booked your venue?
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, I'm wishing you all the best. I won't ask too much because the wedding is coming up. So I guess we have to leave an
Yeah.
element of surprise for not only the viewers, but some of the guests that might be snooping, watching this episode, trying to, you know,
Right.
trying to see if they can figure some things out. So I'll move on to my next question.
Okay.
Um, okay, so far, you've been really honest about your wedding planning journey, which I have appreciated as a viewer. But
Mhm.
I wanted to ask, and if you could be honest, so far, what would you say has been the most stressful part of your wedding planning journeys to date?
Mm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, we have vendors and we have people. So I feel like the when it comes to the wedding planning journey, I would say that the people one, because people are also vendors too, but the people on the other side, which are like my people in my circle, what I'm trying to say essentially is I think I experience a lot of change from the people around me because okay, like this is a new chapter of life. And I've said it in my series, and I think I said it on here so far. Like for me, getting married and just planning a wedding, that's just what it is. It's not my bread and butter. It's not my air that I breathe. It's really just one other thing in life that is happening to me. And I feel like I've experienced a lot of people like thinking that, oh, like I can't do certain things or like they've distanced themselves because like okay like now I have like a man and it's like
Mm.
serious, or some people have also said too that oh like you've changed like now that you are engaged and you're planning a wedding. But it's like one, I'm supposed to change. Like this is a new journey that I'm in. Like I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm planning a wedding. Life is also happening. And now I have like somebody else to think about too. And then um when it also comes to like vendors per se, I would say because like I'm really dealing with people, um it's just really a lot. Like you've seen what I went through with my tailors, and it's just very frustrating because you communicate things, you try to plan and get ahead of things and do everything possible, but a vendor can really just switch up on you like this, or they can mess up your clothes or just be more difficult. And I feel like those are the parts that drained me because I felt like, okay, one, some people just don't care about certain things as much as you do, right? And then also like from the like friends and like family aspect, when they're feeling like a type of way that oh like I'm changed and things, like it's sad because I expected them to like be my number one supporters and like lift me up. And of course I'm not speaking for like all of my friends, right?
Of course,
There were
yeah.
some friends like who were like so excited, like they're looking forward to my wedding more than I am, and like just me being happy and me being married. But the other side, like there were some people who just like didn't take it well, and they just were like, oh, I'm just like changed and a different person now that like I have a man. And yeah, just very,
That's
very interesting thoughts that
interesting.
people
But wouldn't
had.
you have
Mhm.
thought that that would have happened whilst you're boyfriend and girlfriend because it's the same person? What's the big change now? Was it?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But no, I feel like what made some of these things real for some people was the fact that, okay, now a ring is on my finger and I'm not like as focused on them as I once was, that I once was.
Yeah, that's a shame. Are those people still in the picture at the moment, or is it a case of where this journey has kind of showed you what it is, and it is what it is now, like where you've separated and gone your different ways?
Not all. I would say that it just took some conversations to have and say like, hey, like this is what it is and you shouldn't feel this type of way. And then there's others where it's like this is clearly like overpowering our friendship or our relationship and you just have to, we just have to part ways.
Oh, that is sad. You're saying it so
Yeah.
professionally. Look at you, Miss Professional.
I mean, I'm just trying to keep it cute. So I, even though like I fall off with people, I just want to still like respect the relationship, right?
Yeah,
And I
of
don't want to
course.
say anything that's too like, girl, why'd you say that on a
Yeah,
podcast?
of
So,
course. You know how people say, well, I don't know what it is about podcasts. I always get people going, to be honest. But yeah, no, of
girl,
course.
it does.
No, I completely respect and understand and read between the lines in what you're saying. And, I hope that, as the journey continues, you look back and you know that you can look back and know your head held high and know that you made the
Mhm.
right decisions with certain people. So it's
Right.
part of it. It's part of womanhood. Honestly, I feel like being a bride is actually part of womanhood. We don't talk about it. We don't present it as
Mm.
that way because I do feel like there are a bunch of women that have branded being a bride something completely different, which
Mhm.
are the pick me's, and they've made it their whole personality, and you know, yeah, the pick me's. But I think those that are just normal women, and like you said, are just girls planning an event, tend to go on this really life changing journey. I feel like it really just, you come out of the end of wedding planning being such a better woman, for the most part, anyway, if you do it right.
Yes. And going back to that part where I was saying, like, I didn't expect to manage so many different emotions from people and expectations from people, I feel like it really helped me even be a better person, like, be a better woman, because I realized, okay, I thought that my people pleasing tendencies were over, but nope, I needed to kill that quickly. And I really needed to set boundaries, like, and quick, because people will walk all over you. People, will say anything crazy to you if you let them. And it was really up to me to say, hey, like, that doesn't feel good. I don't want that. Or just putting the expectations, oh, you should do this, you should do that. It's like, no, like, it's not about you, it's about me. And you
Mm,
can realize how quickly you can lose your voice in wedding planning because there's so many people giving you opinions. And sometimes you think that they mean well. They're like, oh, wow, like, that's actually like a good idea. And you might even take that step to do it. And you're like, okay, wait, like, I took this step because this person said it, but now I don't feel good about it. And maybe I shouldn't have listened to them. And so now I'm at a place where I just don't say anything about my process to people that don't need to know. And I really it's just me and my partner who really makes the decisions. Like my maid of honor and my wedding planner, like they're more in the loop. I depend on my sister as well because she's been married and she runs a strict program.
yeah,
So
love that for you. Love that for you.
yeah, but it has really just shaped me to be a better person. And it definitely exposed weaknesses amongst myself that needed to be strengthened. And I'm happy that I went through it because I wouldn't have known another way that I needed that type of shaping.
That is so beautiful. Wow. That is so beautiful, but 100%, 100% agree.
Mhm,
And it's nice to know that you have a lovely support system from your planner to your maid of honor to your sister. Sounds
mhm,
like you have a good bunch of people that are really ready
mhm.
to, make this dream come true. So
Right.
congratulations to you because not everybody has that. Not everybody has that.
Mhm.
Okay, next question I wanted to ask was, what wedding expense shocked you the most when you saw the price?
Hmm. I hope this isn't like a blanket statement, but I would say nothing. And that's because I followed the wedding space like for years. Like I know the ranges. I know like what is a priority, what to spend on, and how you can like trade off. Like for example, for a videographer or a content creator, and like for my wedding, for my trad, I'm just doing a content creator, and I'm doing that because I took the time to like research like the kind of like device my content creator uses and how her pictures look like and comparing it to the other videographers I would look like and other people's experience. So like I did not play when it came to the research of my wedding. And it's not that I was planning it for years. I love the wedding. So I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't want to get any surprises when I was planning the wedding, especially when it came to like monetary prices. And so, yeah, like when it comes to for food, for example, like I have like such a loving mother where she said like she's taking care of like the food. So like I personally don't know like what the food amount
That
is.
was me. And
Um,
I love a mum that just, thank you.
yes.
That
And
is exactly how it should be. Oh, thank you, mummy.
mhm, yeah.
That
So
is,
I'm so grateful that I don't have to worry about that. But I think that food price would probably be like expensive, but it's still not shocking because I
yeah,
feel like there's so much information out there nowadays with weddings. Like it wasn't like before where you would have to track somebody down, you have to call them, email them, like just tell me your prices. But now you could easily find it. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So then, okay, with that being said, then, even though you knew the prices or like nothing has shocked you, which one would you say it hurts you a little bit every time? Or when you had to slap that deposit down, which one were you just like, okay, I knew it was going to cost that much, but my chest, there has
clothes.
to be one. Clothes. Yeah,
Yes.
I think that one gets everybody, to be honest.
Yes, because I'm stuck in a position. I'm wearing like four different outfits for my wedding. And I know that's just
Which
for
one,
my
the white
tribe.
one or the tread?
My
Or in terms,
tribe.
just for
Oh
the tread
no.
alone?
Yeah. And
Oh, I love it.
if I had known, and the only reason why, okay, so like I said before, like I knew how all the expenses would be like. After
Yeah,
what I went through, that sugar that I went through for my clothes, just for my pre-wedding, I said, God forbid, I'm not going through that again. So I'm paying top dollar for the tailors that can deliver the best products. I'm not going to go to a tailor that can. I have to go
you have to
find another
beg.
tailor to make the same
Yeah,
thing. So I'm paying top dollar for it. I'm literally just closing my eyes like this and paying because
I know. Yes, with everything, just take your money. Just take the money.
no,
It's
yeah.
it's something that even though I loved the process, I do not miss having to spend that amount. And the thing is, well, it gets to a point where you even become desensitized. Like someone will quote you and just say, "Oh, it's £500," and you'll be like, "Oh, that's not too bad." Or okay, what's the one thing that you're currently spending money on? What's the one thing that you're currently spending money on, and you feel like it's worth every single dollar?
My wedding planner. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh. I'm a very type A person. Like
No, you definitely give me type A for sure. For sure. My
I'm extremely type A. Like even like I'll talk to my wedding planner and she'll be like, oh, like we need to do this. I'm like, oh, I already have it. Here it is. Like da 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 da. Like for example, like the program like for my wedding, like I've already wrote it out and everything. And she's like, wow. She was like, go go. Like this is
the
really
wedding is in
good.
September. That's so good.
I know. But I have spent a lot of not a lot of money, but like it's worth every penny
Yeah.
because I love the fact that when I do get stressed out, I'm like, hey, I need you to like do this and like because I don't want to worry about it anymore. And she's just on it. And I really love how I can like text her at any time. She's like a wedding therapist too. Your wedding planner will be your therapist, like your financial guide.
Bless
Just
you.
yes, because I called her. What was it? I called her like last week or something. I was like, Diamond, I am so stressed with this Ashra B stuff because I don't know what gets Africans going with Ashra B. The minute you
They
mention,
Right
they
now, I
love
have a
it.
video. They're arguing over Ashra B in my comment section. I don't know what it is about Africans and Ashra B. Like, it's just such a political thing. Anyway, sorry, go on. Didn't mean to cut you
Yes,
off.
no, I saw that video and I was like, it was about like asking all the guests, the 300 guests to wear
Yeah,
Ashra B. And I was
yeah.
like, you know what? I should have done that because
That's
it
what I
was
was
like,
thinking. It's smart, isn't it?
yeah, I'm not forcing anybody to come to my wedding, but if you want to come to my wedding, then wear the ashwabi. Simple.
It makes too much sense. It actually makes too much
Yes.
sense.
And it cuts down on costs because, especially for a trad wedding, like I've heard nightmares of, okay, I've had a 300-person wedding, then 400 people show. Can you imagine 400 people showing up to your wedding? And then
Girl,
that's how food
listen,
gets out, runs out fast. And then
exactly.
people start saying, oh, there wasn't food at your wedding.
Whole
There's
time they
like,
weren't even invited to the wedding that they're saying there was no food at.
exactly. And so that's my biggest fear. Not even my biggest fear. It's my mom's biggest fear, but she puts it on me. She's like,
Cool.
I don't want people to come to your wedding and they say that we don't have enough food. We don't have this because for the food, she's like, she had a whole, like, pretty much every single dish you could think of from Cameroon inside like the wedding. And I'm like, mommy, like, you don't need to have that much food inside there. And like even for the Nigerian food, like she wants amala there. She wants a lady making amala. I'm like,
This is gonna
my
get
husband's not even Yoruba. I'm like, he's not even
oh,
Yoruba.
she's
Like,
saying Ebola and he's not even Yoruba. That is
yes.
hilarious.
She's like, this wedding needs to be like the best. She's like, oh, they even needs to prostrate. I'm like, they don't do
Oh
that. Like
my
she
God.
wants.
She just wants the whole experience, right?
Yeah, she wants the whole experience and she wants people like to come and like, be entertained because all of our people are Cameroonian. And so since they haven't seen that, like that would be like entertainment to them. But I'm like, we can't do that because that's not his culture. So
Yeah, so let's
yeah.
even jump into that. Speaking of culture, because that was
Hmm.
definitely something that I wanted to ask. You're a
Yeah.
Cameroonian bride. He's a
Hmm.
Nigerian man.
Hmm.
What tribe is he, first of all, as well?
Edo.
Okay, so how are you blending the Cameroonian culture with the Edo culture? Like, how have you found that experience? Like, talk to me. What's that been like so far?
So it's been straightforward in the sense of like for my wedding, we'll have like two entrances, like a Cameroonian entrance where we'll both wear Cameroonian clothes, and then we'll have another entrance wearing like Edo clothes. And so that has been like straightforward, like where for Cameroonian weddings, we cover like several girls. They have to him and his people have to identify, okay, which one is your bride. They bring them out one by one. And so he'll have to say, okay, like this is my bride. If he picks the wrong one, he'll have to pay like a fine. So they really animate that. And then like once he finds me, then like he'll have to like go sit in the crowd somewhere. I'll get palm wine for my parents. This is similar to like Igbo culture as well.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, it sounds similar to quite a lot of cultures, actually.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And so I'll get palm wine for my parents and I'll go find him inside the crowd. And then that's when like we're recognized as like husband and wife in the Cameroonian eyes. And then for his culture, I would have to sit on his lap 9 times. His dad would place me on his lap 9 times, and that would signify like our marriage is blessed, my womb is blessed, and just happy married life.
Okay, okay, nice. And who is
Yeah.
hosting all of that? Like, for me, I'm used to us having an alaga. I don't know if
Hmm.
other people have an alaga too, but even
Hmm.
if you're the bride, so how are you
Hmm.
guys hosting the groom side coming? Who does all the talking?
So we have an MC, and then we have like aunties who are really knowledgeable about the culture.
Mm.
And so I feel like that's something that can be tricky because one auntie is like more modern, but she's still cultured. And then we have like the hardcore traditional aunties that it's like, no, it has to go this way, it has to go this way, it has to go this
Yeah,
way.
oh my God, yeah.
So yeah, so we'll have like an MC and then one auntie who's guiding it. And so my mom wanted to use like two different aunties, and I'm like, mm-mm, no, let's just have like
Keep
one
it nice
auntie.
and simple, yeah.
Yes, yeah. But one thing I am trying to be careful of when it comes to wedding planning process, and I'm not sure if you've seen this on social media, but there is a lot of like when for Cameroonian weddings, like there'll be some back and forth with Nigerians, like, oh, this is a Cameroonian wedding, like you guys are copying Nigerians, and just back and
Really?
forth. Yeah, because like for some Cameroonian weddings, like these people, like some people that get married, they wear like these coral beads, and Cameroonians have specific beads. It's on the top of my tongue. I can't remember it, but it's like blue and colorful beads. And Cameroonian brides will wear like just red coral beads, and they're not necessarily supposed to, or common form is like a gilly. Some Cameroonians don't wear gilly, and while others sometimes do, I've seen that, but Nigerians will think, oh, we're stealing their culture and all that
I
nonsense.
haven't
Nigeria thinks
seen
they're
any
the
of
only
that.
country in Africa.
I
So,
haven't seen that. I know how we get when it comes to like people when I saw okay the
uh-huh,
material, but
uh-huh,
I don't think people even know that that's even. I don't think people can even differentiate between lace and ashoke anyway. But I
mhm.
haven't seen the discourse between Cameroonians and Nigerians, to be honest, in regards to the coral beads. That's so interesting. But what I have noticed is that with a lot of African cultures, the culture has traveled. Like if you look at like the food that we eat, the music that we listen to, the clothes that we wear, there are a lot of similarities across many tribes in Africa. So it doesn't shock me or surprise me that you're saying that, you know, people are looking at your culture and being like, oh no, that's what we do over here. It's like, well, no, it's not just exclusive to Nigerians. And it's so interesting because even what you were talking about with your husband having to identify you under the blanket. So my best friend got married in Kenya last, or 2 years ago now, well, the year before last, so 2024. And at her tribe, that's what her husband had to do. But she's a Kenyan on the other side of
Mm,
Africa. So still similar, but very interesting to hear and see. But I love that.
mhm.
How many people are you having at the trial as well?
250.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I
Two
think it's
fifty.
small.
But yeah, that's not bad because especially
Mhm.
because I would imagine, do you have a lot of family in the States, or most of your family based in the States?
Yeah, I have a lot of family in the States.
Yes, and usually I don't know why I just assume that in America everything is just bigger and just because there's more of you guys. So for, you know, considering the location that you're at and how many people you probably could invite, 250, impressionable. Kudos. Pat on the back to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't think 250 will show up. I've planned for like 350 because I've heard like so some people just show up anyway. Some people don't tell the plus ones, tell us that plus ones are coming, but we're planning for 250. We sent out 250 invites, so
Well, yeah, hopefully we can do a part two and actually come back and revisit this episode and be like, actually,
right. I would
I
love
would,
that.
I would like to know all the updates in terms of
Uh-huh.
what, you know, what you expected and what actually happened in
Yeah.
reality. I'm sure you've had lots of opinions. What's like the strongest opinion that you've received and it's kind of just taking you back a little bit and you're like, huh?
Why somebody like wanted to be a maid of honor as opposed to a bridesmaid?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
It was tough because I was like, I feel like if you're in the bridal party, why would you want like to be a maid of honor, especially if, like you're already there. And for some context, like me and this girl, we were really close, and like once upon a time I would have loved to like make her my maid of honor, but because like we were just rebuilding our friendship and I still wanted her like in the wedding, I decided to have her just be a bridesmaid, and just to really have her support this day because it's something that we've talked about. Like I'd want her to witness my relationship transition from boyfriend and girlfriend, fiance to now husband, and she really didn't like it at all. Like she she was like, oh, like why aren't I like maid of honor? And I was like, like you're still in the bridal party. It's fine. Like you're still my sister. Like it doesn't affect our relationship. Like everybody who's in the bridal party is my sister. You guys are the closest people to me, and if I consider you to be in the wedding party, then that says everything. But then like it just became an issue because it kept getting brought up. I thought it was just a one-off, but it kept getting brought up, and so I eventually just had to take her out.
No.
Yes.
No. I thought
Yeah,
you
it
were.
was.
Yes, I'm sorry, you go.
No, no, no,
Sorry.
no. It was like a painful decision because I'm like, wow, like here I am thinking that we're going to like be together in this wedding planning process, but you were just really focused on the fact that you weren't inside, like you weren't maid of honor. And it just became weird because I'm like, if you continue to be in the wedding party, now you're going to be looking at my maid of honor some type of way, and potentially, and like I don't want that. I don't want to make anybody's lives harder than what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't want any of my girls to like be stressed out because you feel a type of way directly towards me. And
Mhm.
I don't think anybody should be comparing friendships, right? That's just my take. But in the event, she was for her own reasons, which her feelings are her feelings, right? But for me, in my sense, I'm like, one, I don't want to say people shouldn't tell me their feelings, but I just feel like it's my wedding. It's one of those things you should have kept to yourself in that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
I would
just
just
like
keep it like
unfold it.
that.
Yeah, yeah, charge it.
Yes. And because like again, like I expect people to express their feelings, so I thought it was just okay, like a one-off thing. But then it just kept growing where I was like, this isn't something I want to focus on with my wedding planning process. The wedding party is like 10% of my worries. And that's how it
Mm.
should be. There's so many other things that I have to worry about. And I just don't want to stress about okay why she's not a maid of honor. The place just didn't feel fit at the time because again like we just like rekindled we're just growing our relationship again, so yeah.
Oh, that is a
Mhm.
shame. That is a shame,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, and yeah, the game is the game. And
Hmm.
for me as well, I'm a big believer in making those really hard decisions so that you actually can enjoy the wedding day and you
Hmm.
kind of know the life that you're walking into post wedding day as well.
Hmm.
Um, I believe in taking on all the stress, having all the difficult conversations so that we just know what we're working with when it comes to the big day. Let's just have fun. I know, I'm not around any fake people and it's just going to be a
Uh-huh.
blast. And sounds like you're filtering, you're weeding out people, you're setting boundaries. You're really type A-ing on these people. We love a type A bride.
Yeah, it's not easy. It really isn't because I'm a type A, but I'm also not reactive. And I feel like some people think, oh, because you're type A, you're very reactive. I was just having a conversation with my friend about this other day. She was like, I feel like you're too nice. And I was like, I'm not too nice. I am just not reactive. Like I'm the type of person where if you do something to me, I'm going to be like, okay, well, why did you do that? Why did you think that was okay? And then we're going to get to it. Like you yourself, you're going to say exactly how you messed up and get to that point. And then I'm going to say, okay, you got to that point. You understand where I'm coming from, and now this is the path forward. I'm not the type to like yell and scream and
Yeah, yeah,
get out
yeah.
of
Solution,
character.
solution focused. Yeah, that's definitely my type of people as well. Definitely
Yeah.
solution focused. I think that's a really good way to be. Sometimes to be honest, I don't. I think rarely is it really needed where you need to be screaming and shouting. I just don't feel like that really does anything for anyone. But I think
Hmm.
definitely for me, I love to know a why. Walk me through your thought process. Don't just try and say sorry and just think that I'm just going to accept it and that's it. No, I need to
Exactly.
know why are you thinking like this. And once I understand the thought process, I can either be scared and be like, okay, I will see you later. I can also empathize and be like, okay, fair enough. I see how you got there. I don't necessarily agree,
Hmm.
but I see it. Um,
Hmm.
or I could just be like, you're just weird. I don't want nothing to do with you. And yeah. So no,
Exactly.
that's so interesting. I'm really happy well, I'm not happy, but I'm sad that it's happened, but happy that you know that the girls that you are going to have around you on the day are going to be the most amazing bunch of women. So
Right.
yeah.
I love my girls. I love my bridesmaids. Like they're so amazing. I've known all my bridesmaids all my life. So, well, not all my life, but I've known them for a good majority of my life. And we have gone through so many different parts of life together that it just only felt right to have them like in this journey.
Oh, I love that for you. The bridesmaids that you do have, where did you meet them? Was it like on the playgrounds, high
Mhm.
school,
Uh,
university?
so I've met them. Like, one is my cousin, and so obviously I've known her my whole life. Then my sister as well, known her my whole life. Then my best friend and my other friend we met in middle school. And so we've been like friends since. Like, we've had this group called like Walk or Die because we would always like walk everywhere to meet each other. So
It's so
um,
sweet.
yes, and then my other friend we met through church, and we've just been close since. And we're actually like family friends. Like, our parents know each other and things like that. So it was always meant to be.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Lots of long-term relationships there. So
Yeah,
definitely they must know you in and out to some degree as well. So
yeah,
lovely. And even just like the smile that you have on your face when you talk about them, I know that they're, I love them. I feel the same way about my friends as well. Another question.
Mhm.
How has wedding planning changed the relationship that you have with your fiance at the moment?
Oh, it's been good. I feel like wedding planning focused made us focus on really being a team and communicating better, because this is our our first publicly like decision making experience that we're going through, where this wedding will showcase a lot of things like our love, our community, but it'll also show how we've made decisions to bring this event together. And even on the back end, like, we are in sync. Like, we're talking every single day about like the vendors, doing check-ins, like making decisions together, and like just really standing on them. And so, like, even for example, like in the beginning, like it was, we couldn't really like catch our beat because it was like, okay, like, I'm so excited. What do you want? What do you want for this? What do you want for this? And he was like, oh, I don't care. Like, just do whatever you want to do.
I was
I'm
about
sure
to
it'll be fine.
ask. Okay, yeah,
Yeah. And then, like, somewhere throughout the process, like, he was like, no, like, I want to be involved. And he started to understand how, like, you can't just, like, be, like, whatever, like, I'm fine with whatever you
love
want.
it. Yeah,
Yes, because he understood that not only it's his wedding, but like certain decisions that he would have like opted for something different, he couldn't go back and change because he was so like blase about it. And I'm happy that it's like sparked within him, because now we've learned that we need to be in lockstep, like for every little single thing, just so that way we're not sitting back and regretting our decision later. And I feel like even now, like my birthday just passed, like some of my friends came, and even for that celebration, like we seamlessly planned it because we have experience planning this wedding together. And so I love it. Like, I feel like it really brought us together even more. And I didn't think, that was possible because, we're already really close. But of course, you just have to experience different scenarios with people to get a different aspect or a different side of them. And so, like, he knows, like, now, like, I'll do something like, or he'll see like a quick change in my mood, and he'll instantly like go to the kitchen and like clear up the kitchen. He's like, okay, I know you're in a bad mood, and I know if you see the kitchen, it's gonna overstimulate you even more. So let me just like put the plates in the dishwasher so you don't have to. And we really are able to like understand each other more. We're able to like work together under pressure. Like, when our venue canceled, like I was in a not nail salon, the hair salon. I was getting my braids. And so, like, I didn't want to start crying. So I just sent him a picture, and he instantly, by the time I got home, he was like, yeah, I have these venues set up. I called this person, this person, this person. And so he's just great. And we're really
leadership
a team.
skills. Me, one thing about me,
Yes.
I love leadership skills.
Hmm.
I love
Yeah.
it. And it's so interesting because what I was going to ask was that is, do you think he's a type A groom? Because I found that during the wedding process, I'm very type B. I'm sure you probably gathered by now. I'm a very
Uh-huh.
type B person.
Uh-huh.
But my husband is very type A. And
Uh-huh.
he was very similar to your fiance during the wedding planning process where he wasn't entirely hands off, but he was kind of like, if you're happy, I'm happy. Like,
Hmm.
then the switch flipped and all of a sudden he wanted to be involved. And when he got involved, oh my God, like just even though the communication was there, but he wanted to be a part of every single thing, like was two steps
Hmm.
ahead, so much comms.
Hmm.
How have you found that? I guess you guys are both, sorry, I'm assuming, is he type A?
He's
You're type
more
A?
type B, I would
I
say. Like he's very relaxed, chill. I'm very like everything needs to get done now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think it's a really good combination because I think I can't imagine if it's two type A's or two type B's. I think it
Yeah.
would be a bit, that's kind of, I don't know. I'm sure there are couples out there that have made it work, but I can just imagine there being a little bit more friction just because you'd be so similar and you'd be so into the detail at the same time. And sometimes you need one person that is a little bit hands off and kind of like, okay, cool. Like, so long as the basics are done, I'm happy. And
Hmm.
the other person that's going to drive it forward and make sure you get things over the finish line. So that's
Hmm.
quite interesting. I don't know, but I'll ask this question. I don't know. If you could go back, what would you do differently while planning your wedding?
Mm. I wouldn't tell people what I was doing. I feel like in the beginning, like people would ask me like, "Oh, like how many bridesmaids are you having? What color scheme are you doing?" Like just asking innocent questions, but the answers I feel like they took them and thought that it was open for like feedback, poking, and I just feel as though because people ask those questions and I answered them, it provided some like entitlement. So essentially, like, what I'm saying is that I probably would have set my boundaries like a lot earlier and explained less because not everybody needs to know what you're doing for your wedding.
Yeah,
And like a lot of advice comes from sometimes like incomplete information or just like assumptions. And like I said earlier, some people can really give you such great advice that sounds like, oh my gosh, like I really want to take it. But you really just need to listen to you and your fiance's voice. I feel like there were so many times where like um I just wished that not that I took people's advice, but I just wish I listened like to that little voice inside my head that was like, don't answer that question or, just don't do this or don't involve like this person. And I feel like if I did that, the outcome would have been different. But I've
yeah.
applied all of that now, and I think that my wedding planning process is going a lot more smoothly because now the only people who are involved are people that need to be.
I 100% agree with you. And also, as well, just from a guest experience as well, I think the element of surprise is really nice. I think it's really nice.
Yes.
I feel like if they know what to look forward to, it kind of, it almost come in with really high expectations. And if you don't fulfill that, we already know what Black people are like when it comes to weddings. Oh, the rice was cold, the drink wasn't there. I thought Wizkid was going to come and perform the way she was talking about the wedding on TikTok.
You
I thought,
see, that's why I'm trying to be so careful with
yeah,
like what I say on my series because I don't want to say something and people are like, "Oh my gosh, can you
oh,
see what she was saying on her series?" And then her wedding was this, and like even when it comes to like my what's it called, my pre-wedding pictures too, I'm purposely planning on like dropping them closer to the wedding because I want people to like have that element of okay, like anticipation, this is her wedding
yes.
and stuff like that, not drop them so far out and then by the time the wedding comes it's like, oh,
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a PR, a marketing rollout for the big day.
yes, exactly, yes,
To be
yeah,
fair, I actually did that as well when it was done. It was great. It was great.
period,
As soon as we
yeah.
did that, everyone started RSVPing because the pictures were fire. People were like,
Mhm.
okay, I want to be at this wedding. I want to be at this
Uh-huh.
wedding. So no, you definitely. It's just fun. I think it's just fun to just like once you finish planning and you've got everything ready and it's nearly time to have the wedding. Once you press that button, it's just so fun to just release all the surprises and let the fireworks out. But yeah, we know how Black people stay ready to
Mhm.
go to anybody's wedding, and even it could even be such a lovely wedding. They're still going to find something. I didn't like how the MC was talking. Can you believe there was only
Right.
10 chairs on the table? There's always going to be that one person. So I definitely believe in the element of surprise. But that's just a preference for me.
Right.
Some
Hmm.
people are not superstitious or care that much, and it is what it is. Fair enough. But yeah,
Yeah. Wait, so are you saying that you released your pictures months before or you released them like the week of your wedding?
I released them. The wedding was April. Released the pictures maybe Actually, I am capping. I'm capping. I lied. Not lied. I didn't lie. Sorry. So I released the pictures in October, November, when
Uh-huh.
my wedding was in April. But then I
Okay.
didn't give anyone the invitation or release the address until 4 weeks before the wedding. So no one got the official, yeah,
Oh.
nobody got the official like address. They didn't know where I was getting married until 4 weeks before the wedding. Which but I told them
Mm.
London. So just in case you want to fly in, it's London. But in terms of the actual venue or where it is, I gave them 4 weeks notice. And that was just because I didn't want people going on Google searching to see what the venue looks like and just building up a story in their brain. And I just feel like this is
Yeah.
a turnaround. Here's the address. Come have a good day. But that's my
Okay.
that's my method. It worked for me. Obviously, it's not. This is not advice to
Yeah.
anybody. It's just this is what I
Mhm.
did.
No, that's a good method. And then going back to what you said too about like people like commenting like, oh, the rice was cold, the drinks are
Mm,
there, this is this. I'm prepping myself to tune out the noise for all that feedback. Not that I care. Well, I partially do care because it's like I put so much money towards this wedding, and you have the
100%.
audacity to say that, oh, you thought my can you imagine? I'll run mad. Like,
No,
I'll
the
really
beautiful
run
thing
mad.
is
Mm.
they won't ever say it to your face. Like whenever you've heard that kind of comment, people usually bitching to other people, but they will never, ever, 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 ever say it to them unless they're just a wicked person. But I'm yet to ever see or hear of someone actually going up to the person that hosted you, invited you to their special day, and you're there telling them the night was cold.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, but they'll still bitch behind your back, which isn't nice, but it is what it is, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
hopefully we're not even thinking about that. That's not your portion. Your portion is to
Right.
have a beautiful, fun day, and the feedback that you're going to
Amen.
get. It was a great day. One of the
Yeah.
best weddings I've ever attended, and that's that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like you've answered a lot of questions.
Hmm.
Um, because you are a bride to be, I won't drag out the interview, even though, to be fair, we've done quite well. 1 hour, 21 minutes, a long time.
Uh-huh.
Um, I guess it's interesting because usually when I interview brides, I always ask them, but to be fair, you're along the journey right now, and that doesn't stop you from answering this question. So the
Hmm.
question that I usually, hold on, before I round up, is there anything that you wanted to ask me?
Um, I don't have any questions.
Okay,
And
cool.
that's not because I'm not interested.
No,
It's
it's
just that,
okay.
oh, okay.
You're just in your bridal world. Don't worry, I get it
Yeah.
completely. That is
Hmm.
completely fine. I just wanted to give you that opportunity. But I definitely would love to revisit this episode. I think it would be
Yeah.
so nice to just sit back and watch this and be like, wow, go, go.
Right.
Look at God, you know?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so the question that I usually like to ask my guests when rounding up our conversation is, knowing everything that you know now, what would you
Mhm.
go back and tell the go-go that was in, was it Costa Rica or Costa Rica? Which
Costa
country was
Rica,
it?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah. Knowing everything that you know now, what would you go back and tell Gogo that was getting proposed to, the one that got engaged in Costa Rica? What would you tell her knowing everything you know now?
Mm, I would say, I would say pray. Pray, 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 pray. Not that I didn't pray, but pray over every single element in your wedding planning process. I'm talking about praying over family relationships, like the blending of two families coming together, praying over your vendors, praying over just the people involved, your bridal party, praying over anybody who will come into contact into your wedding planning experience. And after that, when it comes to your marriage experience, because you are putting yourself up for like public display, right? You're putting your relationship up, you're putting you yourself as an individual and you and your fiance. And the enemy hates that. They hate love. They hate when two people are together. And there are just so many things that you can sit there and plan for. Like when I tell you I'm type A, like I've planned, I've written down everything, I've watched all the videos I needed to watch about wedding, but the things that I've experienced couldn't videos could never have prepared me for. And so that's why I say really just continue to pray over things that you don't even know might come your way. And then also too, outside of prayer, I would really say that don't rush your experience, and because you really don't get a prize for being the first person to do this, or being the first, like you booked your venue, you don't get a prize. Like I think that like as soon as I got in, well, not maybe as soon, like a month after I got engaged, I started planning my wedding. And because it's a 2 year engagement, I knew that, like, okay, if I plan early, I could, potentially save money. And in some areas I did, right?
Yeah.
But you can bask in the moment. You can just do whatever, enjoy being a fiance, enjoy just the transition that's ahead in your life. And you don't have to like compare yourself, because I was like, when I first started planning, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. There's this bride who her wedding is 2 months before me, and she already has her wedding completely planned. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm so behind. And because I felt like so much guilt of me being behind, that I started planning like early, and which in turn it helped a lot, right? But I felt as though I could have just gave myself a time to like just breathe and relax and just
Mm.
enjoy the experience. And so I would just say really just pray, don't rush the experience, and also ground yourself too. Like, I wish I told myself, okay, hey, I'm going into this, I'm putting my head down, I'm blocking out the noise, and I'm not going to tell people about my process. I'm not going to answer certain questions. And this is like my day. I'm going to do what I want to do and just really go from there. So I feel like if I could go back and tell myself that, I feel like this process may have been different.
Oh, beautiful. And you're
Yeah.
still on the journey, so anything could happen.
Yes.
Well, for the greater good, of course. Between
Mm-hmm.
now in July and now in September, and I'm just
Right.
sending so much love from all the way over here over to you, and praying
Thank
for you
you.
guys to have the most amazing day. And I'm sure I can't wait. I can't wait to see the
Mm-hmm.
pictures. It's always one of
Yeah.
my favorite things, going on, because I now feel like I'm a part of the journey. I know I'm not coming to the wedding, but I just feel like I'm a part of the journey one way or another, and I always look forward to the end result, seeing the pictures and being like, wow, she really did that. It's such a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful experience.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast today. I'm so grateful. Before we go, please could you let the viewers know where we can find you? Where can we
Yes,
find
you
you
could
after
find
this?
me on TikTok and Instagram at the Go-Goville.
Love that, love that, love that, love that. And guys, just a reminder as well, if you love the conversation here, we also have a community that we're building currently on WhatsApp. So please don't forget to join. I'll put the link in the description box below. But join, if you comment in the comment section, the bride's room, I'll be able to send you a link directly for you to be able to join the special community of brides, 2026 brides and beyond, actively planning their wedding and helping each other out. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much, Gogo, for coming to the bride's room. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, no worries. I'm so happy we made it happen. I'm so happy. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful episode.